Good morning. It's Thursday, August 8th. Now, this is a little bit late, but I had other things that I wanted to talk about. But today I'm going to talk about Kamala Harris's choice for her running mate for the vice presidency. So Harris has decided on Tim Walz, that's W-A-L-Z, as her running mate. And he was not the leading contender. He's the governor of Minnesota. And Minnesota is not what you can consider a major swing state. So I am sure she didn't pick him because he had the ability to turn the election in their favor, being a swing state of some kind. But he's an interesting guy. He's a moderate, middle of the road, but honest. And he was several things before he became a politician. He was a teacher, and for many years he was a member of the Army National Guard. He served that duty for over 20 years. And Harris personally delivered the news that Walz had been selected via some kind of video call. Now, Walz was not the leading candidate in many people's minds. There were a half a dozen people out there that were mentioned before Walz was selected. And the state of Minnesota is not a major swing state or anything like that. And Harris and Walz didn't have much of a previous relationship. But Harris grew increasingly enthusiastic about Walz because of his actions, because of the way he behaved. He wasn't a big man, no bluster or anything like that. Just a genuinely honest guy. He instituted many programs in Minnesota that were progressive and good for the people of that state. And as far as Harris is concerned, Walz has qualities that are very important in helping her to run the nation, to move the nation ahead, and to, of course, win the election, which is a critical thing in this country right now. We desperately need to continue in the direction that has been set by the previous administration. On Tuesday, at the rally in Philadelphia, which was their first joint appearance together, Walz portrayed himself as a folksy Midwestern everyman and as an attack dog for Harris. He said, "Thank you for bringing back the joy," as he took the podium, saying he is thrilled to be on this journey with her and her husband, who he referred to as the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. He told the crowd, "We have got 91 days. We'll sleep when we are dead. Over those 91 days and every day in the White House, I'll have President Harris's back every single day. And we all will have your backs too." So when you look at Walz, and you recognize that in an incredible 2-week period, he rose from a third-tier candidate to a final contender. And in the view of Harris and her vetting team, he was propelled by support from across the Democratic Party, progressive and moderate groups alike. And that's no easy feat to get those two groups to coalesce on a single person. He talks and looks like a lot of the voters that we have lost to Trump, said a longtime Democratic operative who was supportive of Walz from the day President Joe Biden stepped aside. So there are people in the party who know Walz. who was a quiet guy, obviously, not a spotlight grabber. And so because of his actions, he rises to be the second person on the ballot. In March, Walz accompanied Harris when she became the first sitting vice president to visit a clinic that performs abortion. And somebody close to Walz said that visit, along with the time Harris spent with the governor as he campaigned in 2022, had a big impact on Harris, big enough for her to come back to Walz at a critical moment in her career. So while most of us out there in Nana Land don't know much about Walz, Harris knew enough about him to pick him. And I believe that Harris has her head on straight, that she would not be picking a running mate who's going to do anything except help her get this country where it's supposed to be and keep us on the straight and narrow. So when I talk about chemistry and people knowing one another, etc., well, it worked for Harris and Walz. And of course, the Trump campaign has noticed what was going on. And they have already been crafting a narrative on Harris's decision to pick Walz as her running mate. And they claim that Harris has bent on the knees to the anti-Semitic, anti-Israel left and chosen somebody that is dangerously liberal as she is. Now, I've been a liberal my whole life, and I know many liberals who want this country to run a certain way. And I don't see anything wrong with being a liberal. Must we be fascist and right wing or lunatic left wing? No. Liberals are fine. A liberal in the White House is great. Will be great for this country. Get us out from some of the terrible things that have been done in the past. So I think all of the Trumpsters have their heads screwed on wrong. And I am heavily in favor of the ticket of Harris and Walz. So I leave you with that this morning. I'm looking forward to a great campaign. I hope it will be sensitive and honest, which I severely doubt with those in the Republican category. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.